So hi students, in this video we will learn about the various achievement theories like motivational theories. So we are in module 2. So this module 2 is directing and controlling, and this subject is 18 CS 51 management entrepreneurship for IT industry. So the topics, 2-3 different topics are covered in this video. The first one is McClelland achievements theory. So McClelland achievements theory. So there will be 3 points, that is the need for the achievement, the need of affiliation, the need of power. So these 3 things you have to mention in the examination. So the need for achievement. A person with need for achievement is concerned with settling moderately difficult but potentially achievable goals. So whatever the moderately difficult but potentially achievable goals are there, so they try to achieve that particular goals in the need of achievement. So what he is saying is, he does not most of things himself rather than getting them by others, getting them done by others. So whatever the works is there, so he will not, any individual person, he will not do work for himself, even he works for other people also. Okay, that is the need for achievement. So a person with need for achievement is concerned with setting moderately difficult but potentially achievable goals. So always they should put little difficult goals only they need to keep, and they need to try to achieve that particular goals. That is the need for achievement. The need for affiliation. The need for affiliation reflects a desire to interact socially with people. So interacting socially with the people. So various people will be there in the society. When they are interacting with the people for the reflect of the affiliation, then the need for affiliation will be there in the McClelland achievement theory. The need for power. Need for power concentrates on obtaining and exercising power and authority. So whatever the power and authority will be there to the supervisor or the manager, so they need that particular power or authority to concentrate on obtaining and exercise. Next, Victor Room's expectancy theory. So Victor Rooms also had given one theory, that is people's motivation towards doing anything will be determined by the value they place on the outcome of their effort multiplied by the confidence they have that their effort will materially aid in achieving a goal. See, they had given a very simple formula. Force is equals to velocity valence into expectancy. So valence into expectancy. The valence is the strength of an individual performance for the outcome. So any outcome which it is there, any from assignment, from job. So whatever the outcome it is there, so the valence is the strength of an individual performance of that particular outcome. So because of his individual performance only, the outcome is coming very nicely. So expectancy is the probability that a particular action will lead to a desired outcome. So this is the Victor Room expectancy theory. Next, Skinner's reinforcement theory. The theory developed by researchers done by B.F. Skinner. So Skinner only introduced this particular theory. The theory is also known as operant conditional theory. So sometimes they'll call as operant conditioning theory also. The theory is believed and based on the behavior of the past. The theory is believed and based on the behavior of the past circumstances, which they have learned that the certain behaviors associated with pleasant outcomes and certain other behaviors are associated with unpleasant outcomes. For example, obedience to authority leads to praise and disobedience leads to punishment. So what Skinner's reinforcement theory is saying, that is, the theory is believed that based on the behavior of the past circumstances which they have learned that the certain behaviors associated with pleasant outcomes and certain other behaviors are associated with unpleasant outcomes. So for example, the obedience to authority leads to praise. So whomever they are there, the next level, that is the top level, when these people are keep on showing their obedience in front of the higher level management, they may get some benefit from the management. and at the same time disobedience, that is nothing but they are not, some people they are not showing their obedience towards the supervisors or managers, then sometimes because of their disobedience it may cause for even punishment also. So the consequences that increase the frequency of a behavior are positive reinforcement. So whichever the increasing of frequency of behavior, okay, positive reinforcement will be there, that is praise or monetary rewards. So two things will be there under Skinner's reinforcement theory: positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement. So positive reinforcement is always maintaining good relationship with the top level management, may give some monetary benefit or some prize or some rewards will be there. Negative reinforcement, a manager requiring all subordinates to attend early morning meetings if the performance falls below a certain desired level of the organization. So this is the punishment. So prize or punishment, prize will be there positively, punishment will be there negatively for the people who are there in the Skinner's reinforcement theory. So Skinner's behavior modification theory is criticized for two reasons. One is overemphasis of extrinsic rewards ignores the facts that people are better motivated by intrinsic rewards. So whatever the intrinsic rewards are there, so they are thinking that people are motivating very nicely because of these rewards, and they work very nicely and the performance will be very good. The theory is unethical. No manager has a right to manipulate and control his employees' behavior life. So this Skinner's theory is saying that it is a completely unethical theory because the managers has a right to manipulate and control his employees' behavior life. They are having that particular right. That is the Skinner's reinforcement theory. Next, last one is Adams equity theory. So Adams equity theory, why they are calling as Adams equity theory is people are motivated to maintain fair relationship between their performance and reward in comparison to others. So they are motivated to maintain fair relationship, very good relationship between the performance and reward in comparison to others. So whatever the reward I am getting, so I will compare that after getting reward, whether how he was working, whether he received the compensation or not. Like that they will compare that particular benefits. Next, person's reward by person's input is equals to others reward by others input. So here they are clearly showing that the balance or imbalance of rewards. So inequitable rewards, equitable rewards, more than equitable rewards. So inequitable rewards, dissatisfaction, reduced output, quit organization. Whereas equitable rewards, continuation at same level of output, and more than equitable rewards, harder work, discounted reward. So all these things will be there in the Adams equity theory. Okay, so today we learned that McClelland and Victor Room's Skinner's reinforcement theory and Adams equity theory. Okay, these things we have learned in this video.